you make of that, what Hogan mentioned? Because DeSantis and Haley, they pretty much spent the last year, essentially, in Iowa. They spent so much money compared to Donald Trump, and yet Trump wins.
No, I would agree that Trump is going to end up in high likelihood of winning this nomination. I don't think there's any real question about that. Now, things could happen, but I don't see a path, even if Nikki Haley wins New Hampshire. She's running way behind in South Carolina. Now, if she wins New Hampshire, she might get a lift in South Carolina. She's got a month. It could be competitive.
She's got 32 days.
Yeah, it could be
until
competitive.
South
But
Carolina.
right now, looking at it, it looks like Trump is heavy favored to win the nomination. My point was, and going back to 92 and 1980, is this quasi-incumbent president is running with a very divided party. Half the Republicans in Iowa voted against him. He's got a much bigger job as someone that's well-known, well-established in the party, who's been president before, getting all of those people back on board. It's very hard for a Republican to win a nomination if a big chunk of your party isn't on board.
He's right. He's right, but I just have to say it's so frustrating because had Rick been the nominee, and it was so close, but for 3,000 votes in Michigan, I don't want to go replay old stuff.
Right.
But I'm so sick and tired of the establishment Republicans saying, no way, if he's a nominee, we're going to. We had to hold our nose. I know, but we had to hold our nose and get out there and do things for people like Mitt Romney that nobody liked, John McCain that people didn't like, and now Donald Trump could be the nominee again. They're like, oh, no, that's a bridge too far. Us establishment types aren't going to put in the work. No.
Obviously,
you suck it up and do the work.
We'll see what the RNC does and how they react to last night, because I think the people of Iowa sent the party a very clear message. And I think the narrative that the rest of the media last night was already saying, the Senator, we were talking about it, that, well, look at the frigid temperatures in Iowa. That impacted turnout. So turnout last night, only 110,000, only 110,000. Typically we see between 150 and 180. To give you point of reference, in 2016, over 180 turned out. The weather conditions were more normal. Obviously, yesterday, not a normal day, but still, turnout is relative.
Yeah,
right? It's relative. So if it was 200,000, you got to think the numbers would still be.
But only two candidates had turnout apparatus, and that was Trump and DeSantis. Haley just all of a sudden came out of nowhere. No one on the ground there.
And that's why
Vivek
Haley
Ramaswamy last night endorsed.
And the two overperformed.
Vivek last night, we carried it live. So he dropped out of the race. He suspends his campaign so he can continue to raise money and pay bills and do that sort of thing. Right. Is that why they suspend instead of formally? They
suspend their campaign because you have to keep the operation going. And you're right. You have bills to pay. You need to collect more money.
Okay.
You have to keep operating. Most my 2012 campaign is still in operation because we still have some bills to pay.
So he will go to New Hampshire and I imagine become maybe the most important Trump surrogate over the next 7 days between now and the primary there. Do you expect Chris Christie, now that Iowa is in the rearview mirror, does Chris Christie endorse Ron DeSantis?
Yeah, who cares? I mean,
well, you know why I'm asking?
It doesn't really.
Senator, the most recent poll.
Bill Kristol and Larry Hogan endorsed Nikki Haley last.
The lesser of the two Hogans,
the most recent poll.
His brother, Larry.
Right.
Larry, of course. Yes.
The lesser of the two.
The less handsome Hogan. Gidley.
But it's endorsements at this point.
He was at 12% in New Hampshire. Chris Christie, that's significant.
I understand that, but the Christie voters are probably already going to Nikki Haley. Whether he endorses or not, I just don't think really matters.
But they don't, remember, I think though that hot mic moment, again, I don't necessarily think that's 100% by accident because he knows his way around a microphone. Yeah. His voters are thought to just go to Nikki because they're that never Trump wing. But I think Chris Christie's sentiment about Nikki is probably that's in the mind, and that's going to be parroted by his supporters, meaning I don't think all of them, 100% of those supporters are going to go to Nikki. I think a lot of them are going to say, wait a minute, no, Chris Christie's right. He was our guy. She's no good. She's going to get trounced. And they might not go for Trump, but they're not going to go out and support her.